Every summer, young people find a safe haven at the Sportsman's Tennis and Enrichment Club in Dorchester, and helping to make that possible are contributions from the private sector, and the club recently found a new backer in a company called Thinklight. We'd like to welcome the club's executive director, Toni Wiley, and from Thinklight, the founder and CEO, Dinesh Wadhwani. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Toni, you're year-round safe haven, of course, but what goes on in the summer that's so special?
During the summertime, we have 3 distinct camps at Sportsman's. We have a traditional summer camp with lots of tennis, but also swimming and reading and enrichment activities. We have a more advanced tennis camp for kids who are already competing regionally and in some cases nationally. They're looking to improve their game during the summer. And then we have a project that's a partnership with Boston Public Schools called the Summer Learning Project, which this year is for rising 6th and 7th graders.
So how do you get the support for all this?
Well, we try to keep our rates as low as we can, recognizing the needs of the community. We fundraise not only during the summer but year-round to be able to provide scholarships and camperships. And we do whatever we can to make sure that no child walks away purely because they feel their family cannot provide the resources.
Dinesh, talk about your contact with this club, because first it was just business.
Right. Absolutely. So as we know, as Thinklight, we have a very interesting technology that can be used to retrofit court lighting, interior court lighting and such kind of spaces, interior spaces, to help them save 60% on the energy costs by simply popping in an LED lamp without having to change the whole infrastructure. So it's a very inexpensive way, high ROI method of saving so much money and improving your light. So given that nature, energy tennis courts has been a big target for us. So that's how we heard about the Sportsman Tennis Center. So we went there simply as an opportunity to help them save money, recognize the quick ROI, and also, you know, for us to sell some light bulbs. But as we met with Toni, as we met with the team and the staff of the Sportsman Tennis Center and learned more about what they did, we realized that there's something very interesting that happens over here in no other club that we have seen. We've done most of the tennis clubs in New England, and this kind of an approach with philanthropy and trying to empower kids and help them who can afford such kind of facilities was what really touched us and resonated with our mission to create value for future young leaders.
Anything strike you in particular, things you might have noticed about the young people there?
Yes, absolutely. We were there this morning, and one thing that really struck my eyes was the diversity of the kids. There were kids from the age of 5 years old all the way to 15, 16 years old. The older kids they were more like alumni of the camps, and from all kinds of diversity nationality-wise, which shows a great, great assembly of such kind of like-minded people, like-vision people who want to be part of something but can't afford it. But there's great organizations out there like the Sportsman Tennis Center that actually create resources or opportunities to support that.
So we talk about that influence there. When you have a younger kid coming in, maybe they're 6 years old, and they see somebody else here who is between 12 and 16, that can be a very influential thing for them.
It absolutely can. You know, we all need to see people who look like us or who are doing something that we would like to be able to do. And whether that is an adult or in some cases simply an older child, the influence can be tremendous. It's often easier for our 16-year-olds to reach a child who's 8 or 9 that may be acting out than it is for the adult. And so we are constantly reminding the older kids that the younger kids are watching you. They're watching you on the court, but they're watching you off the court. So it creates an environment that is continuous learning for the younger people, for the older kids, and for the adults at the same time.
How do you deal with somebody who might, as we say, they're at risk, they have some acting out tendencies? What can you do about it?
Well, we all have to figure out the best way to connect with children. Sportsman's philosophy is that every child has the capacity to excel in the classroom, to contribute to society, but we as adults have to figure out how to connect with that child. We need to figure out what's going on in that moment that's causing them to act the way that they are. So certainly immediately you want to interrupt it. You need to get them to a space where they feel safe and that where everyone else is going to be safe as well. But eventually you have to share with them that if they want to be able to participate, they have to be able to control their behavior. So the same way we talk to them about controlling their behavior in a match, about not letting their emotions get get them into trouble. We say the same thing is true in the classroom, the same thing is true in life. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath and think about what you really want to do next as opposed to just reacting.
Dinesh, you decided to give some support here, and I know that there's a question here, why shouldn't some other companies and some others do, but what's in it for the company? What do you get from this?
Firstly and most importantly, it's an opportunity for us to give back to a community in a way that resonates with our personal beliefs. At Thinklight, our core mission, our core belief is challenging the wasteful practices of today by creating value. We do that for our clients by helping them save so much energy with very high effective ROI by doing retrofits. It's one way of providing this value. Another way is with our employees as well, how we empower employees, and the stuff we do together is one way of also creating value in our environment. And thirdly, and most importantly, I personally believe is giving back to community. And as you may agree, there's many ways to be able to give back to your community, but in a way where we get to empower young leaders in a way to teach them about life, about particular skills, to make them into great human beings tomorrow, and also give back to our society. It's one of the few things that we came across directly upon our alley that believes in the same thing that we do. So it was a great synergy, I believe.
Toni, I imagine some of the young people go on to play tennis at a fairly competitive level, and others do not. So if they don't play tennis at that level, what are the other ways your program helps?
Well, we certainly believe our primary goal is for kids to play college tennis. Some of them are going to get scholarships, some are not. But going away to college in and of itself is challenging. So you've got to be able to form some sort of community once you get to college, and your tennis team becomes a part of that community that helps you succeed, helps you get through those 4 years or whatever path you happen to choose. Additionally, we see the need for everyone to understand from a very early age that you've got to remain active throughout your life, whether it's tennis or running or anything else. We want to instill in our kids a love of a physical lifestyle so that no matter where their tennis takes them, they have a desire to remain active as they get older as well.
And I guess they learn constantly that if you work on it and someone coaches you a little bit, you can always get better at whatever you do.
That's correct. And you can share that with the next person coming behind you.
Well, thank you both very much, Toni Wiley and Dinesh Wadhwani.